The monitor hypothesis by Stephen Krashen, what the hell is it? How does it apply to you? Okay, so we kind of have two types of learners in the language learning community and in general. So imagine we have someone that has acquired the language and then we have the learner system kind of brain. Okay, the monitor system hypothesis splits into three kind of users or people. Okay, or let's just say, monitors. Okay, so we have monitor over user, who is a person that is plans what they're going to say, edits it in their head, and then goes and applies the certain rule and then says what they're going to say. Okay, and then to really illustrate that versus the acquired language would mean produce spontaneous speech. They just spontaneously speak. They don't go, oh my god, it has to be this thing and then I'll have to say it this way because the grammar Olympics are coming up. No, okay. So then we have monitor under user who doesn't like to constantly think or use the knowledge about grammar. Okay. Then we have optimal monitor who appropriately uses the grammar. Okay. So it's not like, basically the point of this is illustrating that if I'm to think about it this way, is that it retards your thinking when it comes to language learning. You have turned it into a mechanical process of if you are the overuser, granted, is that you in your interactions have to think, if you are this person, is it has to be, okay, what was the input that they said? And they have a very logical approach about, okay, it was this rule, I have to speak in the present tense continuous, then I have to conjugate this verb, then I have to go do this, and then I can speak, okay? So they're very like mechanical about the process, and they're like working the cogs in the brain to try and figure this thing out, and then say it, okay? Versus the person that will generally come from a learned system, okay? So brain thinks, check, the XYZ, so whatever the prompt was, it was past, future, or whatever, and then before speaking, and then to me, I'm saying equals hindered experience and retards you, the person, okay, if you're like that, and I just think, okay, because versus, for example, if you're in an interaction with someone, it's like play, it's like dance to conversation, okay, but if you're the person that's, I have to get this thing fucking perfect, and then I have to go and say it, and it's going to be beautiful, but then you say it like, you know, a minute later. The people that you're trying to talk to or you're talking to are not going to end up having patience for you, and then it's like, you've lost the flow of dancing left and right, keeping the rhythm as you go down, and goes back and forth, and you're not allowing them to help you out, because more than likely people want to help you out in the language, and if you're like, no, but it has to be this, like, you're just literally cutting off the experience of the language and to the connection you're going to have with those people, okay? So that's why, if I'm to say anything to you, it would be go with the acquired language approach when it comes to language learning versus the person that is the monitor over user. And again, of course, you know, everyone's going to be subject to this where they say something and then they ask the other person in that language, oh wait, is it actually like this or is it like this? And when you do that, you are the optimal monitor, because you're recognizing, actually, you know, when I said that, it didn't really make that much sense, and you're verbalizing to the person. And then, what does this do? It even opens up more conversation, more interaction, you get to practice language more, and there's a dance, there's a better connection with the language, you have a little laugh, boom, 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 boom. Okay, you get the point, I hope. Anyways, this is just me giving you a lens to look at one part of language and how it could be applicable to you. And again, if you're not aware of like acquired language, generally what this has to do with is, I could write this out, flip that, is going to be comprehensible input. So again, you could do this from LingQ, which is an app, or you could use Asimil books, or like, you know, real starter books in that language, okay? Yeah, it just depends on the system, depends on language, depends on loads of things. But the thing is like, it's the vocabulary that kind of will repeat itself, and you kind of get a good gist of it. It's very basic. That's comprehensible input at the beginning stage. It just means that you are understanding and feeding yourself. And of course, when you get a bit more intermediate advanced, you can expand your horizons, but nonetheless, you've probably covered 80% of the language, and there's only the 20% left, but that 20% is really important to understand the intrinsic things that people are saying to you, okay? And how do I get acquired language? I think as a baby, how do they do it? They just listen to the parents, they listen to school, they listen to whatever, they're getting all this exposure, and they're reading their books when they're younger, and it's you just seeing the patterns, hearing the patterns, recognizing this goes with that goes with this is a phrase, this is how we say that, I know the accent. Okay, I think you get the point I'm making. Alright, so again, this is just giving you awareness of the monitor hypothesis. Stephen Krashen, a G when it comes to language learning, bunch of other people as well. You can go through his books, lectures, etc. Again, I'm just breaking that down for you. Yeah, and again, any questions around this, let me know. How do I apply that? How do I do this? So I'll do a video on comprehensible input, how to really squeeze the juice out of that and be making more progress in your language learning journey. Any questions below, let me know. And a la próxima. Gracias por viendo mi video, y comentario abajo, o suscribirse. No sé. Eso va a pasar. Todo no está perfecto, pero estoy tratando de hablar contigo. Vale, entonces a la próxima y gracias, que tengas una buena día.